This is Valley News Live at noon.
We have new information this afternoon on a destructive fire overnight near Barnesville, Minnesota. The Clay County Sheriff just told me on the phone. It appears the fire started in the area of the building where there was a chicken coop. Sheriff Mark Empting says the cause of the fire is still under investigation. He says the chickens were killed and everything inside the building was destroyed. The storage building had a camper, van, and other items inside it, in addition to that chicken coop. Volunteer fire departments from a couple of nearby communities were also called out to help. The sheriff says an ambulance crew was also on standby since the extreme cold temperatures can be very hard on firefighters. Luckily, no one was hurt. And those temperatures were dangerously cold overnight and still this morning, but the warming trend is underway. So let's check in this afternoon with meteorologist Summer Schnellbach to see what we can expect for temperatures this afternoon.
Lisa, it is what seems like a miracle. Our wind chill warning is now expired. It is going to be replaced. This area that you see that is currently clear, it will be replaced with a wind chill advisory just to cover the overnight period tonight. But that wind chill warning, US 2 and north, was in effect since 6 p.m. on February 5th. So we are turning things around. It is still chilly out there today. Nice sunny blue skies, which have helped. And we started our day on the cold side as well. Many areas were in the 20s and 30s below zero. But for a change, Rolla was one of the warmest spots this morning at a balmy 18 below zero. Currently across the region, we are warming up quickly, single digits below zero under those sunny skies. Winds are mostly out of the south, and that is important for bringing our temperatures even warmer over the next couple of days. By mid-afternoon, temperatures warming to near zero for some of us across the majority of the region, in the single digits on either side of zero. And Lisa, we have a nice big warm up that will be coming, and I'll let you know when we can finally see temperatures back above average.
I can't wait. It's been too long. Thank you. Dangerous winter weather also continues to march across the country. People in more than 40 states are dealing with some combination of snow, ice, and gusty winds. In the south, multiple states have emergency declared amid bitter cold temperatures, with wind chill alerts in at least 20 states. They're not as tough as us around here. In parts of Texas, icy roads and near whiteout conditions are making it difficult to navigate roads and causing numerous crashes. More than 2 million people in Texas are without power right now, with potential for rolling blackouts as the storm intensifies. Moorhead firefighters were on a bit of a search and destroy mission when it came to a water leak overnight. Firefighters were called to an apartment building in the 2700 block of 40th Street South overnight. They first feared it was a pipe burst due to the cold weather. They say it turned out to be seepage in a main level unit from a small leak. Fire crews spent quite some time looking for the source. Extreme cold weather is prime time for frozen pipes and water main breaks, which can cause serious water damage. Charges are likely after a driver smashed into a house in North Fargo. Police got the call around 10 last night to the 1100 block of 4th Avenue North and found this. The driver of the vehicle suffered a leg injury and was taken to the hospital for treatment. No one inside the home was hurt. Police say they are forwarding a criminal report for reckless endangerment to the Cass County State's Attorney's Office. The opioid epidemic has turned into threats of violence against some doctors. The issue was underscored by last week's shooting at a Minnesota clinic that left one person dead and 4 others injured. Authorities say 67-year-old Gregory Ulrich was angry about his medical treatment and had threatened a similar mass shooting in 2018 as revenge for what he called torture related to back surgeries and prescribed medication. Doctors say they've also been harassed, stalked, and threatened with injury or death by patients who believe they need opioids. Many doctors say they now have installed alarm systems. Some even have panic buttons. And you may notice in exam rooms these days, doctors are now set up to be closest to the door. The debate over masks and the coronavirus is entering a new phase. Multiple states have recently dropped their mask mandates against the advice of the CDC. David Bignog reports from New Orleans after recently visiting Lafayette, Louisiana, where this policy issue is also playing out between neighbors.
Welcome to the heart of Cajun country. When it comes to wearing a mask, public safety has run into politics in this reliably Republican part of the country.
We're not exhibiting the behavior that the medical experts are begging us to do. This particular community has prided itself on being so loving, but in these dire times, I'm not seeing it at all. It really breaks my heart, David.
That is Peter Garisco. His 73-year-old father, David, died last month due to COVID-19 complications. Gail George is David's widow.
I think perhaps he got it from me because I was diagnosed 3 days before he was.
David's death made local news after what happened to the family at the funeral home. The headline read, "Family says they were mocked. Police called after requesting mask usage at funeral home."
You think I'm going to let my family risk their lives because you're a little lax on your policy?
There were people up and down the hallway without masks on, and we just simply said, listen, just please wear a mask, and no one would.
Garisco says the funeral home did have signs telling people that masks were required, but they didn't enforce it.
I found out that there was no local enforcement of the state mask mandate.
What happened at the funeral home led to community outrage and a public memorial honoring Garisco and the more than 200 people who have died due to COVID in Lafayette. And last week, it also led to an emergency meeting of the city council to consider a local mask mandate.
Masks have become political here.
Local doctor Brittany Hebert, a Yale-educated physician who spent more than 3 weeks volunteering on the front lines in New York City, told her city council
that a local mask ordinance will save lives, and if you are strong enough to vote for it, you will save lives.
But even before the vote, the city's mayor indicated he would not enforce a statewide mandate. The council then voted, and the ordinance failed. Right down party lines. 2 Democrats voted yes, 3 Republicans all said the mask mandate was pointless, in part because it wouldn't be enforced. And one of them even raised doubts about the effectiveness of masks in an email exchange with none other than the Garisco family, who called the rejection of the mandate a complete farce.
It's all pathetic and laughable. I don't feel safe.
You don't feel safe in your own town?
Yeah.
Officials say infectious disease experts will tell you some masks work better than others, but they do say masks work to prevent the spread of the virus. As the number of new COVID cases starts to drop across the country, the vaccination effort is steamrolling ahead. So far, nearly 53 million people have received at least their first dose of the vaccine. According to the CDC, more than 14 million are fully vaccinated. The dip in new coronavirus cases has been fairly sharp, falling from 247,000 to 88,000 over the last 30 days, according to the CDC's tracking. If you want to stay on top of the latest vaccine news, we can help you out with our VNL Vaccine Tracker. Just open your phone camera and point it at that QR code you see on your TV right now. Then tap the link that pops up. We also have that link on our valleynewslive.com homepage. Valley News Live's very own Brian Sherrod has been nominated for the Live United Awards. He's a social media maven. The award is for a community member who uses their social media accounts to rally others to make a positive difference. Brian, as many of you know, has emerged as an engaging and uplifting figure in the Fargo-Moorhead area, as well as here at Valley News Live. The United Way will hold their award ceremony virtually on March 25th. He's off today, but he'll be back tomorrow. Coming up here at noon, we look into why more and more people are starting to use their old phones instead of the fancy new smartphones. But next, we want to talk about this warming trend. It's slow, but it is here. We'll find out when we will feel the difference in summer Schnellbach's forecast next.